Hey everybody, Matt Washington, Pierce Capital. Hope everyone is having the best week thus far during this current climate. But I wanted to come out and speak about a couple things. One of the things I wanted to talk about is something that I think is relevant during this time and what we're going through. And we're all fighting. We're all going toe-to-toe with this situation in our business lives, in our personal lives, in all aspects of our life. This is a fight. And it's a fight every day, and it's a tough fight. But one thing I personally like about fighting, growing up as an athlete and being in competitive environments, is that sometimes, no matter if you're victorious, you don't come out unscathed. No one's coming out unscathed. No one's coming out with bumps, bruises, and bleeding. And I want to talk about a particular boxing match, a trilogy actually, between, and all boxing fans will recognize this and see relevance in this. But if you don't follow boxing, hear me out for a second. Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti in 2002 had an epic battle. It was the fight of the year. Both fighters went toe-to-toe for the whole duration of the fight. It was a slugfest. Both fighters just went at it like wild dogs. And at the end of that fight, Mickey Ward won the first one, but there was a trilogy. There was two other fights after that first fight because the first fight was so powerful and an amazing fight. But Mickey Ward, at the end of that fight, went to raise Arturo Gatti's hand, because sometimes if you ever watch a fight, the guy that wins the fight, it's not that he doesn't bleed. It's not that he doesn't have bumps. He doesn't have a black eye. He didn't get worked over for a little bit. He just had something a little bit extra in the tank to win, but he didn't come out unscathed. He didn't come out without punishment. And the guy or gal that loses sometimes, when you see these fights, it's almost like you want them to win too, because they fought with so much pride. They fought with all they had. And that's what I think is relevant to this, is that none of us is coming out unscathed. None of us is not affected by this. You know, financially is one thing, but our family lives, our social lives, our mental lives, our everyday lives are affected by this, but we're fighting this fight, and no one's coming out this, hey, that didn't bother me. Hey, that didn't affect me, because it's just not possible to say that. But the positive thing is, and going back to this fight, is that both fighters fought with all they had, and both fighters in the public's eye loved the fight so much that, yes, Mickey Ward won the first fight, but they wanted a second fight because they felt Arturo Gatti won as well, just by the way that he fought. He fought with so much pride, and both fighters went at it. And ironically, on the first fight and the third fight, after the fight, they both got shipped to the hospital because there was some conflict and damage going down. But Mickey Ward's talking to his doctor, Arturo Gatti is talking to his doctor, and they both hear each other, and they pull the curtain back, and it wasn't on purpose. They actually were sitting side by side in the hospital after just slugging each other for 12 rounds. And that kind of made them closer, because they started at one spot, walking into the ring, going at it for 45 minutes, and they ended in the same spot. Both in the hospital, sitting side by side. Actually kind of became friends and went on to fight two other fights. The first fight, they went to the hospital together, and the third fight, they did as well, and became great friends after this. And but what is relevant to this is that we're all going to be able to raise each other's hands as a community, as friends, is that we all have dug a little bit deeper during this time. So I just wanted to bring that up, that we're in a fight right now. We're getting hit. There's bumps, bruises. We're getting scratched. There's blood. But at the end of this, we're all going to be able to raise our hands together in victory, because this is going to end. One other positive note I wanted to bring up is that Pierce Capital is looking at data every day. We have paused funding for the moment, along with other lenders, but we are looking to come up with some guidelines in some programs to be able to fund essential businesses, because we want to open it back up again, and we want to start serving these merchants and these business owners during this time, and we want to start helping our broker network to be able to have another funding outlet. So don't want to give an exact date. We're going through some things, looking at some things, and when we roll it out, we want to be fully transparent. We don't want to come out and not have a product that isn't going to be beneficial to our merchants and your merchants. So give me some time. Don't want to give out a good firm date yet, but it's going to be here in the near future. So stay tuned for that. So hope everyone has a great rest of their week. Make it as positive as you can. Hope this story and analogy helps you fight a little bit harder today. That's what I'm learning to do, is each day I'm learning how to duck a lot of punches I've never had to duck before, but I'm swinging back. Pierce Capital is swinging back, and I hope you guys are too. Matt Washington, Pierce Capital, God bless.